The screen glowed, a cold green on black, showing the usual static, then a flicker. It was 3:47 a.m. Another long shift at the Kootenay Pass border post. Nothing ever happened out here, not really. Not on my watch, anyway. Just the wind, the snow, the endless quiet. This particular sensor, Alpha 7, was deep in the woods, on an old logging trail that nobody used anymore, not even the wildlife much, especially not in deep winter. It was more of a formality, a legacy from an older system. So when it tripped, a sharp red alert flashing, I just sighed. Probably a deer, or a sensor glitch. Happens all the time with the cold and the heavy snow. But then the thermal image came up. For a fraction of a second, there it was. A heat signature, tall, narrow. Too tall for deer, too defined for a bear. And then it was gone, just blinked out. Not faded, not moved off screen, just vanished. I rewound the feed, frame by frame. There. And then gone. Like it was never there. A glitch, definitely a glitch. Or maybe the sensor just froze up. I made a mental note to check it in the morning, after the sun was up. No point in risking a snowmobile trip for a phantom deer at 4 in the morning. My routine was set in stone. Check the cameras, log the weather, make a pot of coffee that tasted like burnt tires. The snow outside was coming down in sheets, a proper Kootenay dump. Visibility was maybe 20 feet. The silence of the station was usually comforting, but that disappearing heat signature kept nagging at me. It was too fast. Even a cougar, quick as they are, would leave a trailing heat signature. This was like a light turning off. When the sun finally broke, weak and gray through the heavy clouds, I geared up. Snowmobile, radio check, standard patrol kit. The Alpha 7 sensor was about a 40-minute ride, mostly off-trail through dense, snow-laden forest. The kind of place where the trees grow so thick, the snow barely touches the ground beneath their canopy. I found the sensor, crusted with ice. Looked fine. No obvious damage. I cleared the snow from the lens, gave it a whack, and checked the local diagnostics. Everything green. So what was it? Then I saw it. Not right at the sensor, but maybe 50 meters deeper into the Canadian side, tucked under a massive cedar. A makeshift lean-to. Crude, but effective. Someone had been here. My stomach dropped. This wasn't a deer. I dismounted, pulling my sidearm, moving slow, scanning. Inside the lean-to, a small, cold fire pit, some discarded MRE wrappers, not Canadian issue. And then under a tarp, a stack of pamphlets. Hand-drawn, photocopied, with symbols I didn't recognize, but the message was clear even in a foreign script. Radical, hateful rhetoric. And next to them, a map. A crudely drawn, but surprisingly accurate map of local infrastructure. The regional power substation. The small municipal water treatment plant. Even the old, disused rail bridge over the river. This wasn't just someone trying to cross. This was someone with a plan. A dangerous plan. I tried to raise dispatch. Kilo Sierra 1 to base. I have a situation at Alpha 7. Repeat, situation. Just static. A crackle, then a high-pitched whine. I tried again, louder. Nothing. The solar flare warning had come out yesterday, a minor one, but it was apparently hitting us hard out here. Just my luck. I felt a cold dread settle in. I was out here alone with a potential threat that had already vanished, and now now I couldn't even call for backup. As I retraced my route, trying to stay alert, I started noticing things. Small things. A stack of 3 flat river stones, perfectly balanced on a fallen log where there shouldn't have been any. A piece of bright orange flagging tape, tied in a complex knot, hanging from a branch that was definitely not there yesterday. Markers. Someone was watching my movements, or had watched them. My breath hitched. Was I being led? Or was this person just taunting me? Then my radio, the unencrypted channel I usually used for local chatter, crackled to life. Faint, distorted whispers. Not English. A guttural language, low, almost a chant. I couldn't make out words, but the tone, it felt like mockery. It was aimed at me. I ripped the earpiece out, heart hammering. I was alone, miles from anyone, and whatever that was, it felt like it was right there, breathing down my neck. Back at the station, I finally got through to dispatch, the signal flickering in and out. I relayed everything. The camp, the propaganda, the map, the whispers. They sent out a team, but the snow had covered everything again. No tracks, nothing. I spent the next few days scouring every database, every intelligence brief. Nothing. No record of anyone matching a ghost-like description. No known radicalized individuals in the region. My supervisor pulled some strings, went higher up. Days later, a whisper came back from an old, unverified foreign intelligence report. A legend, almost. A ghost figure, radicalized, banned from another nation years ago. No name, no photo, just a vague profile. They called him a phantom because he left no trace. He was supposed to be in Europe. The critical intelligence gap was glaring. Someone had slipped through. They found nothing. Not a trace. The snow melted, then came back. Months passed. I was transferred eventually. Too much stress, they said, too isolated. But I know what I saw. I know what I found. And I know what I heard. That feeling never left me. The Kootenay Mountains are vast, the border porous. And that ghost, the one that vanished on the thermal, the one who left those markers and whispered on my radio, he was never caught. I still wonder, sometimes, if he's still out there. If he ever finished what he started, or if he's just waiting. And how many others like him have already walked right through, unseen, unheard, waiting for the